Charles Kelley. Hello.
That was an extra
Do you like that?
Yeah.
radio voice.
I feel like
Charles Kelley.
we don't do radio voice. It's
You
just the way
don't. You don't.
We really don't.
The radio voices have they've lost their
Yeah. It used to be like the big boss jocks back in the day. Like
When we first got into radio, we were the like high pitched guys.
Yeah.
You know, we were like the one. I still sound the same. I still sound 12 years old. But you know, it's
you do.
those guys back then. They all had that.
They did. Or like Wolfman Jack.
Oh yeah. That was it had that whole growl thing. Yeah. But it's a one kind of trick pony deal.
Yeah.
And usually guys that have that big thing are boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they do that
They don't
well,
have to.
but
They don't
you
have to work to
try
entertain
work
you.
hard to be entertaining. If you
there's no creativity. It's just all the time.
It's like pretty people.
Oh, yeah. You're
It's
right.
like pretty people.
Yeah. Anyway, why are you here, Charles? And
D comes to me this morning and he goes, so wait, help me out. Lady A did not break up.
No.
And they're going on tour,
Yeah.
but this is not a Lady A song. I went,
I know.
Yeah, yes.
Well, listen. I mean, it's a same thing that kind of runs through my head. It's interesting how the journey of this song. I got been in this a little over 6 months sobriety, and you can't get out of this journey and treatment and all the work and not write about it, and. So I sat down with Dave, my bandmate, and Jimmy Robbins here in Nashville, and I threw out this little title, as far as you could, man. I said, I feel like, alcohol, it just took me as far as it could. I said, it was really fun, and I don't regret it. But I said, man,
you don't regret it?
No, I really don't. I mean,
Okay.
I think that's a little bit of the song. It's like, listen, if I could drink healthy, I wish I could. It's not in my DNA. It just crept up on me. It wasn't like that for 20 years. In the last 5 years, it just crept up to where I needed it. Like, you start drinking in a day.
Where was that point where you were like, okay, this is it?
Oh, man, the last 3 years. I mean, I had that, like, cliche moment, like, where you just be looking yourself in the mirror. I'd be on the road, and I'd get done with the show, and nobody even knew, and I was like, hey, I'm just going to do beer and wine, this tour. And then I'd get on the tour bus, and I'd be sneaking whiskey, and, I'd be, like, watching Breaking Bad, and, like, I need to go to bed. It's 2:33, and I'm like, I'm not going to, I don't need to get one more whiskey.
Was there a reason you were drinking?
Honestly, it was an addiction, man. I mean, it really was. It's like this thing that you just feel like, oh man.
Like me with midnight snacks.
Yeah.
It's 10:30.
Well,
I'm sitting here watching TV. Let me go to the fridge.
Dude, my new addiction is ice cream. I never used to eat sweets that much because, I was like, alcohol is my sweet.
Right.
Man, I will pound like a whole giant freaking thing of ice cream all the time.
Be careful.
I know. That's hilarious.
Let me tell you, look around this room.
Dude,
We
I used
are
to be.
cautionary
But
tales.
when I met these guys, they can attest to it. I was almost as thin as you.
Well, I also used to never work. I'm working out like 6 days a week. I feel like I'm like, it must be the same thing Tim McGraw went through where I've got this addictive personality. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. And now I never used to do like nicotine. I'm doing these little nicotine pouches, the Zins. And I'm like, gosh, at least it's not alcohol.
Yeah.
But all that to say, it just had gotten to this point where, it was so obvious that like my marriage was not in a great place. The band was just always worried about me. And I was like, this is exhausting. I've got to do something about it. And I tried to do it myself a few times over the past few years. And, it was like just white knuckling it, unhappy. And so
I was shocked when I heard the news.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
I know. I'm one of the ones that go. And it wasn't like I was crazy all the time, but when I would go, and I just wasn't happy with it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like fun. It wasn't serving me anymore. But all that to say, we wrote this song and sent it to my manager and label, and everybody was like, "Wow, this is really special." And so we're like, "Man, sorry, let's go on Lady A and cut it." And Hillary had this moment where she was like, "Charles, this is such a personal song to your journey." She was like, "I don't know if I can sing this, one, without getting too emotional, but two, but taking away that singular voice of what this song is, And, I don't know if she had done on a Christian record this song called Thy Will. It's one of the greatest songs she ever has written, and it won a Grammy, and she did that Christian record with her family. And she was like, it kind of is like that, where it's like, that was such a personal song. And so, I was like, well, I'd love to put it. I got to get it off my chest. And so it started reaching people, and I think that's when the label was like, well, man, this just feels like something we need to put out there. And it's unbelievable. If nothing else, man, I have zero expectations as far as from some commercial standpoint. I just was like, man, already the feedback I've gotten, the people that come up, I've never had this in my life where they'll just come up out of nowhere and be like, you know, it could be someone like just a wife or spouse saying, you know, my husband is going through this. I'm having the toughest time, and seeing your journey and your wife's journey with this, and it gives me hope. And I'm like, okay, this was the purpose of this song. And I don't know, I'm just at that point where, like, I think too, this can live alongside with Lady A. I mean, we're going to start going in and cutting some new songs, but you know, it just felt like it was the time to put it out and get it out there while it's really in my heart, and you know, hopefully it can reach some more people.
Well, it's called As Far As You Could. It's Charles Kelley. We got more coming up with Charles. Hang on. Charles Kelley, As Far As You Could. And I do want to mention, if you have someone that you love that is struggling with any kind of substance abuse, the national helpline is 1-800-662-4357, 800-662-4357. Of course, you can also Google that and find it. Charles is with us. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll talk about some Lady A stuff, too.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do that on the way next. Hang on. Charles Kelley in the studio with us. Of course, Lady A, and a lot of people, you know, concerned about Charles when he went into rehab and did that whole. Was it like a were you like living somewhere?
Yeah, well, you know, some of the stuff's personal, but no, I did. I don't mind admitting. I'm kind of like an.
I'll tell you this. A lot of people go through this, and then the next time we see them, their people are always like, okay, now remember, please don't talk about.
Yeah,
like I think it's great that you're telling people, I did this.
Well,
and
it's weird. I'm not ashamed of it. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. I feel like, you know, anytime too, you know, you can slowly take away the stigma of it. I mean, so many people are going through this, whether they're going through it, spouse or somebody, and it's like, trust me. I mean, I feel like the hardest thing I've ever done was not doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really like, that's the strong part. And so it's like, there's strength in it. And I just feel like it's like, man, there's got to be a purpose to this. Like, God, why am I going through this? And it just feels like, okay, it's to share it and be open and honest. And, you know, we had to push back our tour, and I was like, I don't want people to sit there and think something will, you know, like we're breaking up. I was like, no, let's be honest, man. In the spirit of honesty. I mean, alcohol made me not an honest person. And so I'm like, I want to be honest, open book. I said, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You know, and it's only been positive. And I think people, you know, can relate to it and stuff, and understand. And, you know, on the flip side, if there was any concern, it was like, I don't want people to think that I'm doing this for some kind of sort of pity or pat on the back, you know, because I feel like some of that can go on too. You know, that overshare kind of world we live in.
Look at me.
Yeah. You know, and that's the opposite of what I wanted it to be. But I just wanted to be an open book about it, man. And you know, I knew I was going to write about it, and I was like, let's just get this out. And, you know, I'd had songs in the past where I'd kind of talked about, you know, there's a song called Be Patient With My Love on probably last or the one before Lady A record, where it was like, you know, it songs that were hinting at like, I got a problem.
Yeah.
And,
right.
And so
I like the one you had. I like booze. That was
yeah.
Kind of a,
well, you know, it's funny too. I had somebody like, you still feel comfortable singing songs like Barney? I was like, heck yeah, man. I said, I don't have any judgment of people that drink. I just can't drink. I wish I could.
If you listen, because you like to drink doesn't make you a bad person. And if you can't drink, that doesn't make you a bad person. Some people just can't handle it.
Isn't it the craziest thing? I kept like holding on to that when I went to this place for like a month, and I was like, how did I let a liquid like almost beat me? It's the craziest concept, but
it wasn't the liquid; it was the mental aspect. Of you were looking for something.
Well, and then you start getting the root cause. Like when I see this, it's almost like a way to live your life. Is like I wasn't looking at I was living in the moment, every moment. What's the next fun thing? I'm like, life to me is capturing as many great big moments that I can remember. And then it was like, you know, next thing I know, I'm going to be, you know, sitting there going, what have I done? What was life's meaning? I feel like I'm kind of slowly shifting to this, like, oh man, all right, now I'm getting connected to my higher power. Now I get to say I'm a sober dad. My relationship with my wife has literally done a 180. And all this, what I was drinking over stress and anxiety and fear, and now it's like, well, I just took the biggest fear and anxiety away. You know, imagine coming home from the golf course and you've had 6 liquor drinks and you're like, oh, I just had 1 beer.
Yeah.
That's some anxiety.
Right.
You actually look different.
Yeah, I lost lost a lot of weight just because. I mean, I had.
It's not even weight loss. There's
Yeah,
a
it's not-
clarity.
it's
in
clarity.
you.
Yeah. It's
Well,
a-
I was drinking, a good 1,500 calories a day. Just by the time you add it up and like skin and everything, just kind of feeling happier, man. I don't feel sluggish like the mornings. I never used to read, dude. I'm like, I get so excited, like read my book. I'm like, who is this guy? Now I'm still a badass. No,
I read awesome books.
I use cuss words. No.
Let me ask you an important question for
Yes.
those of us who are fans of a different part of your life. Can you still be Dick Fantastic?
Oh God,
Is that-
yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
All
okay.
right.
Well, we're already in talks to for the Dick to rise again.
Yes,
Okay.
I like it.
Please explain that for like.
Yeah,
there's going to be
It's his alter
somebody.
ego
There's always somebody
that-
who complains about everything.
That's
I
your
know.
alter ego that sings, pop love songs. And,
Yeah, we basically it was during a
was
time
when-
when Hillary had our first child, and we're all like so stir crazy. We're used to be on the road all the time, so our band, that backs us. One of the bass player goes, man, I've always had this dream to have a cover band, like an '80s cover band called Dick Fantastic, and I won't tell you what the rest of
the
it's
name
called.
is, right? Yeah.
And so anyways, we would just do like just fun stuff like Africa.
Oh,
Gonna
I know.
take a line and drag me away.
Charles and Dave and their band, who are all incredible musicians, up there singing Celine Dion songs.
Yeah,
or
we
whatever.
did Celine
it was
Dion.
Basically, Lady A doing that.
Oh,
It's
but-
minus Hillary.
Well,
Yeah.
Hillary, I think the name may have scared her off a little bit. If I'm being completely honest, the name scared her off. She has made one appearance one time for a song, but man, what is my favorite one to do though is talk about love, talk about trust, talk about forever, baby. When I talk about us, you know that?
No, what is
Your
that? I know
soul provider.
it. Soul Provider.
Michael Bolton.
That's right.
It
Okay,
is
here.
my
I
favorite
have a
song
little-
to sing.
I have a little clip.
Oh yes. Hear the whole crowd?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they were losing. We had a bubble machine.
I was going to say
Our
there's
crew-
bubbles everywhere.
Yeah, our crew had a bubble machine. I start laughing, so I don't. This
May not the best clip.
no, it's not. Go to Rosanna.
Oh, do I have one? All right, hold on. Let's see if I have a Rosanna clip.
Yeah, I start laughing. It was I couldn't hold a straight face during that song, because I think Dave had he had this like plastic mechanical like flute, that it's always
recorder.
and it
It's
was
like a little keyboard
but
thing,
it was
right?
like a
Yeah.
keyboard, but and it went into like a some like MIDI thing, and I mean I couldn't keep a straight face the whole night. It was just too
I
funny.
can't find it. Oh, I'm so bummed. But
Oh,
I
that's
do
all right.
have you doing Montel Jordan.
Oh yeah, this is how we do it.
That's the thing. Charles is one of the best singers ever. And
Yeah.
he's out there just,
Yeah.
like he's in a cover band.
I love the how the band all has the matching
Yep.
80s outfits.
Yep. I ordered those.
I don't know. Last time I saw Hillary, I wanted to be like, you guys having more kids? Because like,
We'll
Take a
do it
little time
again.
off,
What I
and
want,
we
what
get
I
some-
what I really want to do is do it like after one like an award show or something, and like one of the like like
do
a
like
big
an after
machine
party?
and do an after party.
Yes, please do that.
That
All
would
right.
be huge.
All
That'd be
right.
huge. Lady A is still rocking and rolling as
We are.
well, and you can
We're as
find out.
healthy as ever, man. I really I think that's one thing too. I wanted to make sure I share. Like this is only going to get I feel like this whole journey has brought us together where now we actually can be what we dreamed of, which is a band that stays together till the end of time. Because I think it would have been my fault if not.
LadyAmusic.com, LadyAmusic.com. You get all the tour information on them, and also the new song from you that is available. Is it available through their site, the Lady A site as well? How do we get to that? As far as you could.
It's wherever songs are sold and streamed, as they say. But
Just look up Charles Kelley. And,
yeah.
It's called As Far As You Could, dude. We're so proud of you.
Thank you, man.
Congrats to you on everything, and long time coming.
Thank you, brother.
It's
Appreciate it.
we never knew, by the way.
Yeah.
It was just strange.
Well, I mean,
because we don't go out at night.
I was a fun drunk. I mean, a lot of it. You know you have a problem when you're doing it, you're on your own. You know, and like
by yourself,
I think I knew I had a problem when I like be sitting in the back bunk, or in the back of the bus, like sneaking whiskey, and it's like, and you're just sitting there like, about to throw up, and you're like, now I have an issue.
Yeah,
like that's when I knew it wasn't going out. It was that.
Again, if you have someone who is struggling with substance abuse, that national helpline, that number is 1-800-662-4357. Charles Kelley, everyone. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Wow, we have videos, lots of them, more than just the one you watched. We got more and more and more and more.
Yeah, subscribe, hit the notification bell, or we'll tell your mom.